this case, like the elephant, requires you to take the animal as it is more seriously than yourself. And that's really a fabulous way of approaching what we do, you know, because the animal is just there, and the animal just reacts to what there is. So you have to adapt to the creature and not just to your highfalutin ideas.
What was your journey like, Robert?
I don't know. I mean, I just kind of. It was a very instinctive process. I mean, even choosing the project in the first place, I had a great feeling when I was reading the script. I just felt like I knew the guy, and the world that Francis created just made everything so easy. I mean, it was like the easiest film I've ever done. So I can't really describe what the real journey was. It was just. I mean, I had a very similar journey, I guess, as my character. I mean, I just sort of plunged, I got plunged into this world, and I could just react to it as honestly as I could, I guess.
Voilà, donc évidemment la question que je n'ai pas traduite au début, mais vous l'avez tout compris, je sais, c'est bien sûr que ce film, c'est presque un road movie, puisqu'avec le cirque, nous voyageons à travers cette Amérique. Et je voulais savoir, bien sûr, en début de cette conférence, quel était le voyage artistique qu'eux-mêmes avaient fait, quelle expérience ils avaient vécue. À vous, mesdames et messieurs, de vous lancer. Ah, voilà.
Je voudrais connaître, comme le milieu du cirque est fortement évoqué, je voudrais savoir quels sont les attachements qu'ils avaient avec le cirque, et s'ils se sentaient eux-mêmes saltimbanques du fait qu'ils voyageaient beaucoup avec leurs films.
Et c'est une question qui s'adresse à tous, j'imagine. Voilà, this is a really question again for all of you. I mean, obviously the circus, the center of the film. Do you feel sometimes, each of you, that you are, as actors, filmmakers, a little bit of part of a circus? Is the movie world, a film, like a little bit of a circus?
Yeah, it's absolutely like a circus. I mean, a circus is a big family that travels together and lives together for a while, and are a bunch of different mixes of personalities, and everybody has different talents, but everybody comes together with one common goal, and it's a bit nomadic, and you travel around and set up very quickly and cause a bunch of damage, and then, you know, disappear at the same day. It's very similar.
It was every aspect of the question was answered in Francis' answer. I mean, I guess I could only add that I think it's slightly easier doing films. I mean, just from my brief experience in a pretend circus, I mean, just having to imagine people living in a train together, and also the intensity of performing every night. I mean, I'm surprised there aren't more murders in circuses. It's like, it would be absolutely insane to do that all the time. I just did a movie for 8 months, and I almost killed myself.
But you survived, that's cool. Oui?
You know that act when the beautiful lady stands in front of a board and the nasty guy takes a bowling knife and goes, I think there's a slight difference between doing that in the movie and doing that in the circus.
Yes, I think it's true, the aspect of traveling, and that, you know, it's a collaborative medium, that all these people have to get together and create, use their talents and their gifts and their skills, and there's parts of it that are very physical and labor intensive, and then there's parts of it that are more performance oriented. So yes, I definitely see a similarity between the movie different.
Alors, autre question? Micro? Oui?
Bonjour. How did you start working with the elephants?
Well, I picked the elephant because the elephant trainer was recommended to me, and I had worked with him once before and really liked him, and so I went down to his ranch. He had 5 or 6 elephants, and I met Ty and picked her because she was the largest, the oldest, the most beautiful. I loved how warm she felt and the freckles on her, you know, trunk and forehead, and her coloring was really beautiful, but also she could do everything that we needed her to do. So you know, just finding her was a bit like finding a gold mine.
Reese, I see you nodding to what Francis is saying. You probably had the closest experience, so to speak, when you were up on that elephant. Could you tell us about it too? Oui, parce que c'est une question, j'imagine, pour effectivement.
Oui, et la question was how?
Oui, comment? How did you really approach?
How did you start working?
Well, you know, I've had experience working with animals before, and in my last film we did a lot of work with a dog, and what I learned from that was that you have to figure out what the parameters of the animal's behavior is. And you work with the trainer to bring out that behavior in order to evoke a particular emotional value. And so I did the same thing with this trainer. So we figured out exactly what she could do, and then we would figure out, okay, if there's a scene where Christoph is going to be hitting her with a bullhook, and he had never hit her with a bullhook, he never touched her, but he would swing a small stick, and he would scream and act like he was hitting her. And the trainer and I had worked out a series of behaviors that would look as if she was reacting to being hit, which might be raising her head and opening her mouth, or stepping to the side, or wincing and shutting an eye. And we created a system of these behaviors, and so the trainer would just stand off to the side of the camera and talk to her, and have her, and she's only listening to the trainer. And so then you marry the two together, and you get the feeling that she's being beaten. And so we did that for every different kind of scene.
Does it answer your question?
Yes, thank you, but I'm very eager to listen to you about your experience with the elephant. How was it to ride an elephant?
It was incredible. It was frightening at first, and I was really nervous and scared because there was really no safety equipment or fake wires holding me up or anything like that. So the first time I sat on the elephant, Francis brought me and he took a picture of me. And then after about 3 months, she had to be comfortable with me, and I had to be comfortable with her. So we learned the routines, and Christoph was there too, learning this performance. It was an incredible experience. It's sort of like riding a big horse, like a big, slow horse.
Autre question?
Alors une question pour le metteur en scène, je voulais savoir quand et comment il avait découvert le roman de Sarah Gruen. Et la deuxième partie de la question, c'est que le film est globalement très semblable au livre, et je me demandais quel a été le rôle de l'auteur du livre dans le scénario ou dans la mise en scène. Est-ce qu'elle l'a conseillé?
Well, it's a question for you, Francis. I mean, how and when did you really get acquainted with Sarah Gruen's novel? And although the film is very loyal to the novel, what input did you or the writer had into bringing it to the screen?
My first experience with the novel, my wife actually read the novel and knew that I was very interested in the circus and recommended it to me. And yeah, that's how I read it for the first time. But I think that Richard Legravenez, who's here somewhere, I don't see him, but he's here, and I worked very closely with condensing the novel down, and we had to squeeze a 14-hour read down into a 2-hour experience. And so I think it was, we tried to focus on the spirit of the novel, and we tried to focus on kind of the tentpole moments and scenes and sequences that you would remember from the novel, that the fans would really remember, the kind of anchor points of it. But we did some changes. We cut out a lot of the older Jacob sequences. The book was, intercut with the 1931 story and the old Jacob in a nursing home, and we decided to cut that out. And we also combined two big characters. August in the novel was not the owner of the circus. There was a man named Uncle Al in the novel, and we combined August and Uncle Al together. And partially out of trying to find some depth to the character of August. August in the novel was also schizophrenic, and quite honestly, I wasn't quite as interested in an excuse in a way for his behavior, and I liked giving August humanity and a logic to his thinking, and that he built this family and built this business and has his life that he's protecting, and it makes sense, and I think it just makes him a human. And that's what I was interested in doing.
Autre question?